Good morning guys, and welcome back to Damo Drives, bringing real reviews to real people, answering some of those questions other channels might not talk about. Now it's thanks to my friends at Hendy Ford in Tunbridge Wells I've got my hands on the latest Ford Puma. Now this isn't the normal Ford Puma, as the name gives away here. This is the ST model. Now about 2 or 3 months ago I drove the ST line X edition, which was the same looking car, but it didn't have the get up and go this ST model does. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a quick look around the outside, and most importantly take it out for a drive on these glorious country roads. Hopefully there won't be too much traffic around. It's absolutely lovely around here. So the styling, as I said, is pretty familiar. So if you like the look of the ST line, you're certainly going to like the ST model. We have got obviously the ST badge, larger air intake. In fact, that's pretty substantial there to allow more air in. And just down the bottom here, see we've got a Ford Performance front splitter, LED headlights, and I love this black it's finished in. It's actually quite stealthy. If we go over to the side, 19-inch wheels. Now because this has got the performance pack on it, we've got some rather nice Pilot Sport 4S tyres from Michelin on here. Nice sticky rubber with 19-inch wheels on here. Roof as well. Sorry, it's a bit dirty. I've been driving all weekend. We've got in gloss black here, along with the gloss black mirror caps. This has got easy access, so you don't need the key. I just leave that in my pocket and you just put your thumb on it and open it up, or press it and it will lock it, which is great. So in the back, we'll have a quick look. You've got to remember this is an SUV. There's got to be a reason that you're going for the larger model as opposed to something like the Puma. So in terms of legroom, so I'm 6 foot and I've left this position where I was driving, and it's okay. It's not great. To be honest, I think the seat would have to go forward maybe another inch or so. Same over this side. Yeah, if you're going to get in the middle, not really practical for another adult, but I suspect 3 kids in here will be absolutely fine. And in terms of that as well, we have got Isofix, so it's really easy to get your child seats in here. So around the back, now this is the biggest difference we've got between the Fiesta in terms of boot size, is when we open up, Fiesta's got 282 and this has got 340 litres of storage. It's pretty cavernous in here, and this is all of my filming equipment. Well, you can see some of it because under the floor here we've got something they call the Ford Mega Box. We open it up and you can see it's 80 litres of storage under there. So I've got all of my camera equipment, and the thing they've said this is really useful for, if you've got say muddy wellies or something like that, you can put them in there and it's all waterproof, so you could rinse the boots off, doesn't matter. And there's a plug actually in the bottom that you can open it up and drain any water out. So that's a really clever feature to have. Love the rear lights on this, they look awesome. Another ST badge and the blacked out Puma badge. And then down here we've got a couple of real exhausts, which is nice. I'm not fully sure on the fact that you can see where the diffuser is, it dips over here for those exhausts and there's nothing there, but I personally would have preferred 2 either side, but even so it's still a good looking car. Parking sensors all the way around, which is a really nice thing to have, and I like the overall stance of this car. I think it actually looks better than the Ford Fiesta. It's a bit more substantial, it's a bit different. You don't see many of these sort of looking cars on the road. Don't know what you guys think. Do you like the look of it? I do. But it's all about the driving experience, isn't it? So we've got the key. I don't actually need that, as I mentioned. Open up and welcome to the inside. Hopefully my phone is jabbing me in the pocket. Welcome to the inside of the Puma ST. So again, a lot of this is familiar, but you have got this nice infotainment system with the ST logo. So we'll start it up, go for a drive, and we'll talk about the driving experience and what this car's got to offer. So key in the pocket, as I said, you've just got a start button, that comes on, and that is it. So you're greeted with the lovely digital display here for all your controls. We'll go through that a bit later, and then the infotainment system over this side. So let's get cracking then. Manual gearbox, which is very, very unusual. You don't get many manuals on hot hatches. I'm not quite sure the segment this is, a hot SUV thing. Whatever it is, it's still pretty cool. So what we're going to do, we'll just have a quick look around the cabin at the moment, because unfortunately it's only 40 miles an hour here, but there are some faster roads coming up. But let's have a look around the cabin. So over on this side you can see there's some carbon fibre that runs all the way across over here. Obviously not real carbon fibre, but it gives it a nice effect. I really like that. Steering wheel wise as well, it's got a nice sporty feel. It's got a flat bottom on it with the ST logo down here. Now that's exactly the same as admittedly you find in the ST line, the ST line X. So nothing different there other than the ST badge. Now over on the left and right we've got various controls to change things like the infotainment system, change all your cruise control settings, and then on the right we can change the different modes we're in when driving. So we'll talk about the different modes available to us, because there are quite a few. Now those settings will tweak the ECU, so you'll get different throttle response, where the power is obviously delivered, steering, and it changes a couple of things. It's got passive dampers, so it won't change the actual the way the car feels on the road. So let's have a quick look at the different setting, different drive modes. So over here we've either got a mode button or a sports button. Now if you press the S button, it will toggle between, as it says the name, sport or go back to normal. So there's two options there. But over on the right you can go through a few more options. So if I press that, we've got normal, sport, racetrack. So we won't be going into that, well, just for the second anyway, because you can see it's changed. ESC, that's gone off, so really only use this on the track. Press it again and we've got eco. Now interestingly, with eco mode, now this car, but the engine it's only a 3-cylinder, and amazingly this will actually shut one of the cylinders down when you're cruising, so you end up with a 1.5 2-cylinder engine. Amazing for fuel economy, but it's not the best car to drive when it's in that mode. It's a bit gutless, to be honest, and I don't want to be in that mode. So we'll go over to, I think we'll go over to sports now. So what this has done, the throttle response is better, tightens everything up. It just feels a better car to drive now. The exhaust has changed tone ever so slightly, and this is the mode we want to be in. So let's have a chat about the performance of the car, because that's what we all want to know, isn't it? It's an ST. What can this car do? Well, up front we've got the same 1.5 litre 3-cylinder engine as found in the Ford Fiesta ST. Now the engine puts out 197 brake horsepower, and in this particular version we've got 340 newton meters of torque. The Fiesta on the other hand has got slightly less torque, I think it's 290, and they've had to do that because of the weight of the car. This is a heavy car in comparison to the Fiesta ST. It's another 100 kilos heavier, so they've had to increase the power to get the same amount of performance. There are other changes which we'll talk about in a minute. So roughly the same performance, 66.7 versus 6.5 in the Fiesta. Now I said this had put on some weight over the Fiesta, 100 kilos, and that is quite substantial when it comes to, you know, like a hot hatch, a performance car. So they've had to make some changes here. We've got thicker anti-roll bars, both front and back, 50% stiffer than the standard Puma, and actually 40% stiffer than the Fiesta ST. So they've definitely firmed things up quite substantially. got change in suspension, so the overall setup of the car is definitely a lot firmer. 197 brake, as I said, it's quite a lot of power going through the front wheels. So what they've done is part of the performance pack, there's a limited slip diff on here, and that is a must. You really must get that performance pack. I mean, £950 isn't exactly a huge amount of money when it comes to adding it onto the £28,500 car. Gives you other things like launch control and shift lights, which I'm not really interested in at all. But the difference that's going to give us is we can accelerate sooner out of the bends. It's got torque vectoring as well, so braking inside wheels, so we can enter the corner, get round it quicker and get on the power even faster. And that's a good thing, isn't it? So you come up to the speed limit a bit quick, and that's the only problem with this car. I mean, people say, oh, only 200 brake horsepower, but that speedo does climb, and I'm having to be very wary. You see 60 and it's like time to go on the brakes, but you can have a lot of fun getting to 60 miles an hour. So these roads I know are quite nice as well, but we just have to be so careful. So we're in first, and then it's time to ease off. So when people say, oh, it's only 200 brake, it's plenty quick enough for the public roads. It really is. It's all about the handling and the characteristics of the car that I think are important. Now, something that is interesting, good and bad, is with these brakes. Now, the brakes are very, very effective, but they are quite difficult to modulate. You put your foot on maybe the first inch and it slows down ever so slightly, and the brakes another few inches, and it really seems to anchor up quite a lot. It's not very progressive in that way. So when you're pottering along like this, for example, it becomes a bit awkward. It's not the best. It takes some getting used to, which you will do, but where I find it comes to its own is when you're really pushing on in this car and you want to brake hard into a corner, turn in, hit that apex and accelerate out the other side. That is where this car comes into its own with its brakes. So like now, we'll push on. So I mean, there's no slip at all. And then we want to brake, down a gear, and then round, accelerate hard out the other side, and then brake hard again. And that works fantastically well. And I'm amazed this is only a 1.5 3-cylinder engine. How on earth it feels this peppy. It's just amazing, really. It really is a fantastic car. And I actually think this is better than the Fiesta ST. Ford have actually aimed this car at Fiesta ST buyers that are considering getting an Fiesta ST but want a bit more room. So this has got loads of room in the back, the practicality of an SUV, but with the performance and possibly better performance than the Fiesta. So really, really enjoying this. It's a great car to drive, and when you are pushing on, you've got some lovely Recaro seats, really nice, with an ST badge over here, nice side bolstering, hold your hips in. They're almost perfect. I think if you were much bigger than me, then they may be a bit more uncomfortable, but for me, and I'm not exactly the slimmest person in the world, they are pretty good. Oh, this is narrow. This is really narrow. So we'll carry on. We can enjoy these roads. This is where this car comes into its own, really. These small back roads, because you can chuck it around. It's a 60 mile an hour limit, and be at 60 miles an hour. You can really push on, which is what you want at the end of the day. There's no point in having a car that does 180, 190 miles an hour if you can't use it. This, you can be really progressing on in a very nice manner. It's lovely. Down a gear, and so we're sounds pretty good. And ease off. See, this is this is the problem. You can't exploit the car at all, but it's great fun. It really is. We've come to the end of my point of view review. It's a bit of a mouthful of this new Puma ST. I love it to bits. I think it's a brilliant car, and I would actually choose this over the Fiesta. Maybe a bit controversial, that one. I think it looks better and it drives amazingly. So anyway guys, if you want to test drive this car, it is actually at Hendy Ford in Tunbridge Wells. So give the guys there a ring, take it out for a test drive, and yeah, it's great. You'll love it. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. There is a full review of that. I'll put a card up here to watch that. And I'm starting to waffle. So thanks for watching the video. Please click on the subscribe button and notification bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.